Alright, everybody, it is your boy DRIFTXPORT. We are here back with another overnight episode for you guys, and I really do hope you guys are enjoying this podcast. But today we're bringing you guys the top 100 review, and it's gonna be a little different. So I'm gonna let everyone do their intros, and then I'm gonna give you guys a quick explanation on what we're doing after that, and then we'll hop right into it. So, like I said, it's your boy DRIFTXPORT. Make sure you guys check out the link below to get all my links, and in the description below, and also stay tuned for a little quick update I'm gonna give you guys right now about a road company montage that we have coming out on this channel. We're all working together on it, and other than that, I'm gonna let my co-hosts introduce themselves.
Yo, it's your boy Dylan, INVOLTING. Check my links down in the description below. Go follow me on Twitter.
Oh yeah, it's your boy Justice, aka ARZAH. Catch all my socials in the description.
Okay, so for this episode, I'm actually gonna let Dylan take the lead here. He has the list and everything prepared for us. I just didn't have time to manage it all, so he was able to write everything down or however he set up, and he's gonna actually be the one taking us through all of our subjects today and everything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to him, and he's gonna be the front man in this podcast. So drop a comment below if you guys like him doing that. Maybe we can all alternate around doing it. I don't always have to be the main host. It's something for us to try, so we're gonna go ahead and try that right now. So take it away, Dylan.
Alrighty, so for this episode, we're going to be doing the top NFL 100 players like the list they do every year. The popularity contest, as we all like to call it. But we're pretty much just going to run down it, and it's going to be a quick run through. We're just going to see like what we think of it and what players should be higher or lower, or if they're like right there. So starting off at 100, we have Levante David. He's linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's good for me. I wouldn't say that he deserves to be higher or lower. That's good for me. I think he's good there.
I think he should be like a little higher. I don't think he's better than Jalen Smith. Or I think he's better than Jalen Smith, so I think he should be like mid-80s at least. But other than that, I mean, it's not bad. So for 99, we have Darren Waller, the tight end for the Las Vegas Raiders now.
I'm gonna go with a little low. I think he's underrated. I can see why people put him so low because like he's starting to have a breakout year, but I would put him a little higher if I'm being honest. I think he could have made it to like, high 90, almost 80, like 88, 89 ish. If I'm being honest.
All right, Justice, what do you think?
I said just stay.
Alright, I'm gonna agree with Justice. I think he's about the right ranking. This is like his first like big year. It's his breakout year. I think he has room to improve, but I think he was dominant last year in like every aspect, like receiving, blocking. Like he's improved his game a lot from just being like a practice squad receiver and coming up to like a premier tight end in the league. Alright, so number 98, we have Brandon Brooks, offensive guard for the Eagles.
That's good for me.
I don't like the Eagles. He can go. He can stay, man. He can stay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fair. I know Eagles fans were upset about it because they, like... I can see where they're coming from, though. Like, he's dominant. I think he's one of the best, like, pulling guards in the league, but... I mean, all the players in front of him, it makes sense of why they're in front of him, so, I mean, I can't really argue it. Maybe if I were, like, an Eagles fan and seen him blocking for me, maybe I would put him higher, but for me, like, not watching him, then I can't really say anything else. Alright, so for number 97, we have Budda Baker, the safety for the Arizona Cardinals.
Should have been higher for me. I'm not gonna say it right now. Everyone knows I'm gonna be biased a little bit, but yeah, I think for a person that led the league in tackles and pass breakups, I would like to see him a little higher. In my personal opinion, I think at least top 50, like not in the 90s, like top 50 would have been fine for me. I think anything above 50 is kind of a bit too much, but I think anything under 50, so like 60, 70, 80s in that range would have been perfect for me.
Yeah, I say he should have been moved up.
All right, I'm agreeing with both of them. I think he was more productive last year than Earl Thomas, and Earl Thomas was ranked 75, so I think he should have definitely been bumped up. So number 96, we have Chris Carson, running back for the Seahawks.
I'm agreeing to stay. I think Seattle is like he's a good running back for Seattle, but Seattle is like that team that uses all their running backs, so it's not like they have a premier back. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What
I
about you,
agree with
Justice?
I agree with Ricardo.
All right. I'm saying he should be about right there. That makes sense for him. So Frank Clark is number 95, defensive tackle, I guess, for the Chiefs.
I'm gonna
I thought he
stay.
was a DN.
DN defensive. He's
Or
a
no?
defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay. I like them in Seattle too, but again, I think he's one of those players that just he's a great like how do I say it like he's a great like
He's a good
contributor
athlete,
to
but
like
he's also on
Chris
a great
Jones,
team.
if that makes sense. Like he's one of those players like he contributes to the people around him more than himself being like the star. Like that's how I look at him. Like to me, he makes Chris Jones better, and Chris Jones is the better player on the defensive line for him. So he's just a guy that contributes to the team, and he's not really the team. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
make each
yeah.
other better.
Yeah. So I think he should stay. I wouldn't put him higher. I actually like that.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah, I
that.
should stay.
All right, so number 94, we have Jason Kelsey, the center for the Eagles.
This is another
I
stay
say
for
he
me.
should stay.
Yeah, this is another stay for me too. I think he's one of the top centers in the league, but I mean,
Yeah, he's actually.
they're not going to show like the love to offensive linemen like they would like receivers. So you can't really like put him any higher.
That is true.
So number 93, we have Allen Robinson, receiver for the Chicago Bears.
I like this
move him
dude.
up.
Yeah, I like this dude. But I'm actually gonna stay. I think he should stay where he is. Just looking at the receivers in the division, he's not like the guy that catches everyone's eye, but like he's the guy that makes the plays for them. But I do like him a lot. I liked him since he was with the Jaguars, but you can say that he was a little more productive with the Jaguars besides like the injuries he had with Chicago. But I just think he just deserves to stay where he's at. Like he's getting better, but I think right where he's at is perfect for me.
Yeah, I
I
can
don't
agree with
know.
you.
I would have at least moved him up like 3 spots, 2 spots.
I think if he would have better quarterbacks throughout his career, opposed from having Blake Bortles and Mitch Trubisky as his quarterback, I think he would be like top 15 receiver, like bare minimum.
I mean, Trubisky wasn't a bad quarterback in college, and like coming into the NFL, I'm
Well,
pretty sure everybody
he
thought
didn't
he
really
would do a
have
lot
any
better.
competition in college though. I mean, he went to North Carolina, so
Yeah, but I don't know. I like him as a wide receiver. I think he's pretty good.
yeah, I think he's really good too. I had him on my fantasy team last year, so.
Really?
Hey, that's the move.
All right, so number 92, we have Darius Slay, new cornerback for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'll put-
Definitely gonna be higher. He's literally a top 5 corner in my book. I don't see why he's so far down compared to other people on the list that we'll get into later. But I just don't see how they managed to put 2 corners this low that are like arguably top 5 corners.
Yeah, he should have been moved up.
I agree. I think he definitely should have been higher. I mean, with the Lions' defense and everything, I don't think you can like really put all the blame on him. It's mostly that defense. Like he was the glue that was holding them together.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he'll do a lot better in Philly.
Yeah, and before we get onto it, like I think you're like what you just said is very true too, and I think that this gives them the opportunity to do even better because the people around them in Philadelphia, like minus them losing Malcolm Jenkins, like if Malcolm Jenkins was there, it'd probably go from like a B grade to an A grade. But with that defense going from the Lions defense losing like Glover Quinn and all them, and now going to the Eagles, they're already like at a B rank with the players around them. Like they still have Ronnie McLeod, they still have Avonte Maddox, they still have like I think Darby, right? I'm pretty sure there's people that can attribute to Darius Slay now, and they're gonna make those other corners that were okay against number 1 and number 2s be even better against 2s and 3s because he's gonna fall number 1s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I definitely think he should be higher though.
Like, just listen to his name. Yes.
This guy.
All right, so for number 91, we have Grady Jarrett, defensive tackle for the Atlanta Falcons.
This is a stay for me. I think he's kind of slept on. Like, people don't think about him, but with the position he plays, and again on a defense that's just lackluster to begin with, it's not really playing to their potential. I think he's lucky enough to make it on the list compared to other DTs in better situations than him that play just as good. So he's perfect for me to stay there.
I would have moved him up. I feel like he's just as good as Hayward.
Okay.
You can see that. I mean, you can say that, yeah.
I mean, the Falcons they didn't really do that good, did they, last year? Compared to the previous season?
Their defense
They
didn't
did
do great.
all right.
Yeah, their defense did
Yeah, their
great.
defense was lackluster. But for me, I think Grady Jarrett should be moved up like a lot. I think he's so underrated. I think he's the most underrated defensive lineman in the league.
One of them.
He could be, yeah. And I mean, like, the Falcons a while back, they sold everything. Like, they wanted to put all their chips on Vic Beasley, and he kind of was let down after that one season. But they got Dante Fowler, and Dante Fowler is no joke. I think Dante Fowler is very underrated. And playing against him twice a year, like, of course the Rams had like a good D line as well when he was there. But just even watching them with the Jaguars before they got like Calais Campbell his first season, that dude was dominant. And then when Calais Campbell got there, and Yannick Ngakoue, he just became more dominant. And as an edge rusher, he's like kind of underrated. Like, he gets off the edge with like pure speed, and it's wild how good like Dante Fowler is, especially against mobile quarterbacks that can run.
Yeah, he's one of the few like pure speed rushers.
Yeah, and that's just gonna make Grady Jarrett Barrett like better in general.
Yeah, I think Grady Jarrett is so slept on and disrespected. All right, so number 90, we have Kyler Murray, quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh. Personally, I would like to see top 70. But realistically, 90 for a rookie quarterback to make it on his first year, only winning 5 games and having the defense that he had and the situation that he was in, there just wasn't enough talent around him to be like super successful. Even though he played successful and broke all those records, but I'm actually gonna stick with it and say that I wish he was higher, but I could say that I can agree with this spot at the same time.
Nah, I don't agree with that at all. Homie should have been up more, at least in the 70s, 60s. Just for a rookie quarterback to do that, on especially as a team that didn't win a lot, like, bro, he's got to be up more on the list. In my opinion.
I wish he was. I mean, there were some great games from him last year. Like, you can't really look at a game last year that we played, like, really besides the Steelers game, that it was his fault that we lost. Like, every game we were in, and we almost swept the Niners. Like, literally, we lost both games by 3 points in the fourth quarter. Like, and they were the Super Bowl. They were the Super Bowl candidates. So
I'm gonna counter justice a little bit here. I think he should be where he's at because, like, as good as he did, like, yeah, he was a rookie, and that like factors into his rankings. But I think like the team itself, like the team record that they have, brought his ranking down.
yeah, and that's why I was saying I'm okay with it realistically, him staying there. Like, even though I would personally want him higher, I can actually see the rookie. Like, him being a rookie, 90 is perfect. Like, to break top 100 your first year is still something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so next one, number 89, we have Cooper Kupp, receiver for the Los Angeles Rams.
Should have been higher. I'm gonna say that right now. And I watched him play us 2 times a year, and that dude is dangerous. Like, to me, he's more of a factor on their team than Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks was to me. Like, that dude does everything for them, and he's an amazing route runner, especially out of the slot.
I'm
Yeah,
glad you say that.
I think he's the best route runner on the team, easily.
Yeah. I would have had, for me, he would have been like top 50.
Yeah, I would have moved him higher. I don't have an exact number or where I would have moved him higher, but I would have definitely liked to see him higher. For a while now, like, especially last year, he was their offense. With what they went through with Todd Gurley and Brandon Cooks, Brandon Cooks is, I feel bad for him because he's always getting traded, but he's just one of those players that just is a fill-in guy now. Like, that's how he looks at him. Like he's just a guy that's gonna fill in some type of like space that's empty that could be filled in for a season or two, and then they're gonna get guys that are just better than him.
I think personally that Cooper Kupp should just stay there. But I think that not like a main reason for his success, but it definitely helps out is having Robert Woods and then to have Brandon Cooks. It definitely helped with like you can't double one person because one of them's gonna get open. So
Yeah.
I think that definitely helps.
Yeah, and that's true too.
But he's definitely good though.
Now we can see him without Brandon Cooks, so it's pretty much going to be... He might even be the guy that gets doubled over Robert Woods in some games. So we'll see.
All right, so for number 88, we have Jalen Smith, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys.
This is a little bit of... I don't know. I kind of want to say lower because his play decreased from the year that he had with... The year before, like the year that they were good, like that one year about I think a season ago, I think it was. Whenever they made the playoffs against the Rams and they lost that year, like him and Van Der Esch were on fire, and then they kind of like slowed down a bit. But then again, like I kind of want to say he deserves where he is because like the defense around them doesn't always play great. Like they are the core of the defense, and I would say that's like their superstar on defense, to be honest. And he's a good tackler, so I'm actually gonna like take back what I said. I think he should, instead of being lower, I think he should be where he is.
Yeah, no, for me, he's a very disciplined linebacker. So for me, I think he should be pushed up because, like, watching him play, he's very disciplined. Like, he rarely will mess up, and if he does, like, he'll admit it. But, like, most of the time, he doesn't really mess up. And he's he's like the most disciplined linebacker we have. So for me, I feel like he should be, personally, I feel like he should have been put more higher.
I think he should have been bumped down lower just because, like my point earlier, Levante David, I think Levante David is a better player, but that could also just come with experience. But I think right now that Levante David's a better player than Jalen Smith, so I'm just going to say move him down. All right, so this next one, 87, we have Josh Allen, quarterback for the Buffalo Bills.
This is a stay for me. Honestly, if I didn't want to, like, besides, like, if I'm being honest, like, personally, honestly, what I could see is, like, I could have seen him and Kyler switch spots, and I would have understood that. But, they made the playoffs, and, of course, the people around him were good. And he had an amazing year, like, last year. Statistically, compared to other quarterbacks, yeah, he's not the best, but you can't knock what the Bills did and how far they got as a team. So... I kind of agree. I don't think he would be any higher than the other quarterbacks on the list, and the only quarterback I can see above him that he's ranked above is Kyler, and that's pretty much like, yeah, I don't think he's really better than any other quarterback on the list. If I had to pick one quarterback to take off the list, probably to add another quarterback that didn't get put on there, that probably would have been my pick, if I'm being honest.
I don't think he should be on here. If they're going to leave Carson Wentz off the list, then Josh Allen definitely should not be on the list.
Yeah, that's why I said to you. I'm going to give him his spot because he's on the list and we can't take him off, but I'm not putting him higher or lower. Or I'm not putting him higher, but if I would put him lower, I would have swapped him and Kyler and been okay with that on the list. But yeah, I don't think
for me too.
I don't think he should have been on the list either. And like I said, he would be the quarterback that I would choose to replace if I could with a different one.
Yeah, I don't think he should be on the list, but... All right, so for number 86, we have Marlon Humphrey, cornerback for the Baltimore Ravens.
This is a like, he's got to be moved up. I would have personally liked him been swapped with Marcus Peters at least, but I can also see why he's not getting put above Marcus Peters because Marlon Humphrey's not the guy to go out there and say he's the best. He does what he does for the team, and that's it. Like, he's not going to be that guy that, talks a lot or brags about who he is. So, as a player, we know who he is, and watching him play, we know that he's the top lockdown corner in the league right now. But Marcus Peters is always going to be that attention dude. I mean, you could see a little bit of, like, Sherman in him. You know, he's that guy that talks and talks and talks. You can see a little bit of Jalen Ramsey in him and talks and talks and talks. So I can see why people pay attention to Marcus Peters more. But I think he should have been higher.
Yeah, he's one of the underrated quarterbacks on the team.
I think he should be way higher. I think he's a top 5 corner in the league. I think he's heavily underrated. I think he's the best defensive back in the AFC North right now. So
Okay.
I think he should be way higher.
Yeah.
So number 85, we have Zach Ertz, tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Trash.
Oh, this is a. I want to say this is a little bit higher for me. Actually, I actually do like him. He's efficient.
Yeah,
And he's good in the red zone, and he's just like a secure player when he's healthy. Like he's a great player for them.
Yeah, I hate playing against him.
yeah,
I
I
would
think
move
he
him
should.
higher.
Yeah, he should definitely be higher. So number 84, we have Cam Hayward, defensive lineman for the Steelers.
This is a stay for me.
Yeah, I don't really watch the Steelers, so it's pretty much a stay for me.
Yeah, I watch the Steelers a lot actually because they're in our division, but I feel like he should stay. So for our next one, at 83, we have Eric Kendricks, linebacker for the Vikings.
This is another stay for me too. I'm not saying like as a player he could be higher, but as looking at the whole team and where he got put on the list, there's only so much he can do by himself, and they're losing some key pieces around them. So I think like losing like people that've been there for a minute, like Xavier Rhodes and things like that, I think it's going to be an adjustment for him. So I think this is a stay for me. Like we have to see how they play next year if I would want to move him higher or not. But for now, I think this is a stay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gonna be a
if
stay
you
for me
want
too.
for me. Yeah, we can just. It'll be a stay.
All right, so next one, at 82, we have Ryan Ramczyk, offensive tackle for the New Orleans Saints.
This is a stay for me automatically because like it's good that the like Saints have a good O lineman. He got recognition, but with Drew Brees being your quarterback, that dude's release is incredibly insane against blitzes. Like to me, like he's a complete polar opposite of Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Like you just don't want to like most people want to blitz those guys and try to get them because you throw them off their game. But when you stack the box against Drew Brees and you blitz him, he's gonna make you pay. Like it's hard for a team to blitz Drew Brees and like shake him or get to him because he just needs his old lineman to do their job for the first 3 seconds of the play, and it's literally going to be a 3-step drop back and a release of the ball. So I would keep him. I would stay. It's cool that he made it, but like I said, Drew Brees being the man Drew Brees is, he don't even really need an offensive lineman to be top 10 or 5 in the league.
Yeah, he's gonna stay for me too. I think he pretty much got everything. So 81, we have DK Metcalf, receiver for the Seattle Seahawks.
I say stay.
Yeah, personally, I like him a lot. I hate playing against him. Like the dude's a monster, and I'm gonna take a hot take here and go off the topic a little bit. I think that he's gonna be a very like dominant receiver in Seattle. Like this might be the guy they finally need. But for him being a rookie, I think 81 is perfect for him. You know, they didn't put his bar too high, they didn't put it too low. They just put him like right in the middle of the pack, like, and they want to see what he can do. So it's a stay for me too.
You're just speaking for me. That's a stay for me. I mean, I'm fine with that. That's less talking. All right, so next at 80, we have Myles Garrett, defensive end for the Cleveland Browns.
This is a hard one for me. I kind of want to say like he should be higher, but then it's like the suspension last year is kind of like what knocked him off to me. That's like the only reason I'm not saying he should be higher. But I think for playing the games that he played, if he would have stayed on track, I think he might have been able to be sack leader. Like he was really like playing top of the line
Might
football.
have been.
I I think so. I can't say that he would have beat Shaq Barrett because we can't say that Shaq Barrett wasn't going to get those 2 4-sack games and still win. Like, we're not sure Myles Garrett would have got 2 4-sack games. It's not guaranteed anyone's ever going to get 2 4-sack games. So it's hard to say that Shaquille Barrett is not going to win with 2 4-sack games. That's all I'm saying. But I think without the suspension, he should have been way higher. But with the suspension, I think 80 is like okay because he didn't play the whole season. And he was still dominant.
I don't know. For me, I would have moved him up. Like, dude, he's such a great DN. Like, to play
Yeah.
against him, like, he's a hard DN to play against. I would have moved him up, even with the suspension.
With suspension, I think it's fair to put him there. But without it, I mean, he was on pace to break the sack record for a season. So, I mean, you give him another season without, like, a suspension or doing any stupid shit on field, and I think he's in the top 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree too. And that's why the only reason I like I perfectly said what you said pretty much. I think I'm only picking him to stay there because of the suspension. Because it's fair. Like, it would have sucked if he got suspended and they would have like completely disregarded him from the league or like from the list. So that would have sucked. So I'm glad that he actually made it because they showed that, hey, this guy only played half the season and he still almost broke the sack record. Like, he was there. Like, he was on pace to maybe break it.
Yeah.
Yep, dude's a monster. So another monster, number 79, we got Calais Campbell, another defensive lineman, and from the Baltimore Ravens.
I just want to cry. I just want to cry. Like, it was his year to be a free agent, and I could see it now. Cardinals sign him, retire a Cardinal, but no, they have to trade him for pretty much nothing.
Bag of balls.
Fags. But yeah, I do agree with him being where he's at though. He's a very like protective player, but there's just a bunch of young people now that are just top of the line pass rushers. So I can say I agree with him being there. And I think it's gonna be scary with the Ravens, dude. The Ravens D line is just starting to get there little by little.
And screw the Ravens.
That's true.
Like a Browns fan, that sucks.
You know, it's a stay for me too.
Yeah, he's going to be a stay. So for 78, we have Tyron Smith, offensive tackle for the Dallas Cowboys.
This is a stay for me too. I mean, their whole O line is good, and it makes the players around them better. So
Yeah,
this is a stay for me.
Yeah, it's going to be a stay for me too. I mean, like I said earlier, they can't really rate offensive linemen too high. They're not going to prioritize them over like receivers or quarterbacks or anything. So.
Yeah.
All right, here's one that got a lot of talk around the league. Number 77, we have Keenan Allen, receiver for the Los Angeles Chargers.
This is a stay for me off the bat. Like, I like him, and he's arguably a top 10 receiver in the league, probably. I would still put him in my top 10 maybe, but I just think with the division he plays in, it's a pretty soft division right now when it comes to cornerbacks going in and out of the division besides, like, the people on his team. Like, the people he plays against aren't super great. Like, they just got Chris Harris, so how many top 10 corners is he actually playing in his division 3 times a year? It's not like they're playing many, and like the AFC on their schedule last year was pretty easy, minus like some of the teams they played. And I just think that, you know, he's a solid route runner and stuff, but there's just guys that are just better than him at this point right now. So he's a stay for me.
Yeah, he's a stay for me too.
Yeah, he's a stay. I just think with like the way he moves his body, like as a route runner, like he's among the best in the league. But that's not the way the league is like moving anymore. It's just pretty much like speedsters and hands. Like if you're fast and you can catch, you're on the team. Like there's not really many like pure route runners left, and if they are, they just like throw them in the slot and they're like here, whatever.
And to go back to his point, like I don't see how someone can claim to be the best when they weren't healthy before these last 2 seasons. Like they weren't even able to stay on the field. And not to mention, dude, Mike Williams is a dog on his team. Like, let's be honest. Like, how much longer is Keenan Allen going to be that number 1 guy? Like, Mike Williams makes plays over and over and over. And that dude has hands, height, and speed. Like, that dude's underrated. So I don't see Keenan Allen being the number 1 target too much longer on that team to begin with.
Yeah, not to mention he's getting older.
And they don't have Phillip Rivers, so he's have a brand new quarterback. So we don't know who that quarterback receiver is going to be.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. So for number 76, we have Marshawn Lattimore, defensive back for the New Orleans Saints.
This is a stay for me. I think that people were kind of mad about how high he was, but like he's one of those players that he didn't make a bunch of splash plays, but he did do his job for them and help them get to where they are still.
Yeah, it's a stay for me too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a stay. So number 75, we have Earl Thomas, safety for the Baltimore Ravens.
This has been lower for me. I think that there was plenty of players better than him, including Buda Baker, like you said earlier. But I think with his career and taking that into respect, they kind of put him where he's at. And because he was on a new team with a new scheme, so he's kind of like fitting into it. I can see him getting 75, but I think he should have been lower.
I don't know. I like Earl Thomas. I mean, it's a stay, but if it was me, I would have put him up for. I would have put him higher.
I agree with what you're saying, Junior. I think he should be lower. So for number 74, we have Ronnie Stanley, offensive tackle for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, it should have been higher. Literally one of the best offensive linemen in football and on the best offensive line in football this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ronnie Stanley should have been higher because while only allowing 6 pressures this season, 6, which is the least in NFL history,
Mm-hmm.
he allowed 0 sacks going up against Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa, Chandler Jones, Aaron Donald, and Frank Clark.
Yeah, that's
And only one of those dudes are behind him on the list. Not to mention that I think he's the best pass blocking offensive lineman in the NFL right now.
okay. Good.
So
I was about to say.
I think he should definitely be higher, like way higher.
And to circle around and back to that, like improving your points, that game against them that Chandler Jones played against, it's not like he was on that side for one time. Chandler Jones was on that side more than one time. Like they were isolated for some plays.
Yeah.
So he
It's the
did
same
it.
with Garrett too. Like Garrett was up against him a lot of the game. It's just Ronnie Stanley is that good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Should have been higher.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so 73, we have Fletcher Cox, defensive lineman for the Eagles. Oh shit.
Yeah, Fletcher Cox, I'd stay. I'm not gonna go any higher or lower. He's definitely like a top 5, top 10 maybe D lineman for me, almost top 5. But I think where he's at is perfect. Again, he's one of those players that's been in the league for a fat minute, and there's just younger guys that are a little bit better.
Yeah, it's a stay for me.
Yeah, this is going to be another stay. So for 72, we have Josh Jacobs, running back for the Las Vegas Raiders.
This is a stay for me. Maybe if he didn't get hurt like the last couple games of the season, he could have been a little higher. But again, a rookie got put right in the middle of everything, and I think he deserved the spot he got. They're not setting the bar too high or too low, so I think this is a perfect play for him to stay.
Yeah, it sucks he got injured. It's a stay for me.
Yeah, I think he's going to be like one of the top backs for years to come, but for right now, this is a pretty good ranking for him. For 71, we have Jarrell Casey, new defensive lineman for the Denver Broncos.
This is a stay for me.
Yeah, it's a stay for me also.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about. I mean, he's pretty good, but right where he's at is perfectly fine. So number 70, we have Fred Warner, linebacker for the 49ers.
It's a stay for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a stay because he had good talent around him. Like the whole defense was good, the whole front seven was good, and like he had a portion of the time where he was number one linebacker when like Kawan Alexander wasn't playing. But I still think this is a stay. He didn't do like probably Wagner level good, but he was definitely up there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a stay. So next, number 69, we have Larry Fitzgerald, receiver for the Arizona Cardinals.
The GOAT, baby. I think it's a stay, honestly. For as long as he's been in the league, he's just good at what he does now. And fun fact, he's the only player that's made in the list since it started every year besides the quarterback. Only other player to ever do that, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, this is an easy stay for me. His age is it's taken into account, and people are still at least recognizing how productive he is for his age. So that's cool that he made it for that. But yeah, this is a stay.
Yeah, it's a stay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a stay for me. He's just you get him the ball and he's gonna get it. Like he's just the most reliable target you can have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know Dylan. We see him on your franchise.
For real.
So for number 68, we have Ryan Tannehill, quarterback for the Tennessee Titans.
This is a stay for me. I think, like, taking into account that he came back to a brand new team and did good in their system, I think this is a stay. You can't say he's too good because he's only played one season there, but you can't say he's the worst because they did great last year.
Yeah, it's a stay for me.
Yeah, I think Ryan Tannehill has always been like underrated throughout his whole career, so it's finally good that they're giving him respect, but it's still gonna be a stay.
Yeah. Just wait for next year.
So for 67, we have Demario Davis, linebacker for the New Orleans Saints.
This is a stay. He's just a veteran player that is good at what he does. I can't say much more. I think this is a stay for me.
Yeah, it's a stay for me.
Yep, it's a stay for me too. I feel like there's like some portions in this list where there's like a lot up for debate, and then it just jumps right into like straight people that are like should be right there, and then it goes back to all over the place.
Yeah.
So for 66, we have Laramie Tunsil, offensive tackle for the Texans.
Yeah, I like that one. So he's a stay for me.
Yeah, that's a stay for me too.
I think he should be a little lower just because Riley Stanley is miles ahead of him, but
Okay.
yeah, so I'm going to say he should be a little lower. So 65, we have Tyler Lockett, receiver for the Seahawks.
This is actually going to be a hard stay for me. Like, playing against him is so tough, and he's a great receiver for Russell Wilson, but I think in order for him to be good, he has to have talent around him. Like, the season that he played by himself with no DK Metcalf, he was okay. Like, he wasn't, like, he was trying to improve to be the number one, but he can't be the guy to do everything by himself without talent around him.
I can agree with that.
I
Yeah.
like him, but yeah, he's gotta stay.
Because when they didn't have DK Metcalf, Paul Richardson was a dog there. And then he left, and then they drafted DK.
Yeah, I think he should be a stay too. For 64, we have Harrison Smith, safety for the Vikings.
I think he should be higher. I think he's arguably one of the best safeties in the league. I think 64 is a little bit low.
Yeah, he should definitely be higher. He's one of the most underrated safeties.
I think they have him about right. I mean, it's going back to like the offensive lineman thing. Like they're not going to prioritize him over cornerbacks or anything. So I think he's definitely getting like disrespected with his ranking, but I can see why they ranked him there.
Yeah, like preferably looking at the
Yeah.
list, like I'm not saying he should be like way higher, but I would have liked to see him swapped with Kirk Cousins spot down the number on the list, because if you look at how important he is to that defense compared to how important Kirk Cousins is to the offense, like we've seen the same Vikings offense with the same players do good with Case Keenum. So I'm not knocking down Kirk Cousins, but we know that in that scheme, it doesn't really matter like who the quarterback was, the way they run their offense. And Harrison Smith on the other side though is really making plays and really keeping people in check.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So for 63, we have Preston Smith, defensive lineman for the Packers.
But this is a stay for me. I like him. He did good last year, but this is a new story for a new player to continue to do good later.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a stay for me.
Yeah.
So for 62, we have David Bakhtiari, offensive tackle for the Packers.
Stay. I can't really sit here and talk about offensive linemen just because I don't watch all their matchups all year long because I'm not like super paying attention. So this is a stay for me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a stay.
Yeah, it's a stay for me too.
All right, so 61, we have Jarvis Landry, receiver for the Cleveland Browns.
Personally, I would like to see this guy higher. But NFL wise, and the way the team was last year, I think this is perfect. He's right in the middle of like all the receivers, and all the ones above him are just like really top talented receivers, and Juice is like always right there. So I think this has just because of how like good the team was. I think this is a stay. Like if the team did better, he might have been higher, but for the way the team did, I think this is a stay.
Yeah, as much as I want to put him higher, I think it should be a stay.
Yeah, he's a stay.
So for number 60, we have Logan Ryan, cornerback for the Titans.
This is a stay. He's like in the middle of. Well, actually, no. Actually, this isn't a stay. Never mind. This is going lower. Actually, I totally forgot about other people that got disrespected because I think Darius Slay could have been higher than this dude. So this is actually a goal. This is lower for me. This should have been lower.
Yeah, this is gonna be lower.
I don't know. For me, for me, it's a stay. He's actually one of the most underrated cornerbacks, in my opinion.
Well, that's respectable though if you like him, and I will agree that he's not bad. Like he was good with the Patriots, and he's good with the Titans too, and he did big things for them last year, especially in that playoff game against the Patriots when he had 2 picks.
Yeah.
All right, so next at number 59, we have OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., receiver from the Cleveland Browns.
This is a stay for me. Same reason for Juice. It has to do with the team. Also with like his production level was good while being injured, and plus like you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's a brand new team. Like he was trying to fit into a brand new team his first year, so we'll see how he does now that he's like fully comfortable with the team and the players around him.
With bad coaching and below average quarterback play.
Yeah, that too.
They still broke 1,000 yards, both of them on the season with injuries. But yeah, I think it should be a stay.
Yeah, it's a stay.
So for 58, we have Kirk Cousins, quarterback for the Vikings.
This is a stay for me too. The more and more Kirk Cousins plays, the more and more he's improving to win big games. But to me, he's not at the level to where I had to depend on him to win the Super Bowl yet. So this is a stay for me.
It's a stay for me too.
Yeah, it's going to be a stay for me. I don't really see him above any of the other quarterbacks that are above him, so I mean, I can't really put him higher.
He's good though.
Yeah, he's definitely good. So 57, we have Devontae Adams, receiver for the Packers.
This should have been higher. I actually do like this dude, and he's so close to me. Put him in my top 5. He might be like the dirtiest route runner in the league right now. I mean, he's like cold with his game, and not to mention he got A-Rod throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he should definitely be higher. I mean, I've never seen a receiver get so disrespected, or any player really get so disrespected as much as I've seen him get disrespected on like every ranking, like ever.
Well,
I
every
feel
time
like it's just because he's with the Green Bay Packers. 'Cause, like the Green Bay Packers is a team that never really does bad. You know what I mean?
yeah, but if you make that assumption though, then you got to make the same assumption about Michael Thomas having Drew Brees. Of course, they're never going to do bad because they have Drew Brees.
I don't know. I would like to see him higher on the list.
Bro, I have like an easy answer for everyone that says Devontae Adams isn't a top 5 receiver or anything like that. Every time someone says that, I literally just send them the gift of him running and then turn around and pointing that 3 Bears guys were covering him.
Pointy. Yeah.
Like you're a top receiver when you have 3 dudes on you for 1 out route.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely the best route runner in the league. Like, hands down, there's nobody better. I think he should definitely be higher. So for number 56, we have DeForest Buckner, defensive lineman for the Indianapolis Colts.
This is a stay for me. Their whole D line was good last year, but if I had to pick like a player that I could say was like compared to the other people around him, I think he would have been my pick. Like there's other people that did good on that team, and I think he's like a solid dude or above solid, but I just still think it's an okay pick. Like I think that's where he should be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say lower. I have a few reasons why, and this goes back to Grady Jarrett being underrated. I think that Grady Jarrett should be higher than him, honestly, because they had the same amount of forced fumbles, the same amount of sacks. Grady Jarrett had 7 more tackles, 3 more tackles for loss, 2 more QB hits, and Buckner played 3 more snaps than him at D-line. Now, that might not be like a lot, but it's still more than him. Plus, the 49ers D-line was way better than the Falcons, and they're separated by 35 spots on the list. So I think that he should be lower, and that just goes back to me like proving that Grady Jarrett should be way higher.
I didn't really watch the Indianapolis, but I'm gonna have to agree with Dylan because what's his name is really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with a stay still. Like I think like Grady Jarrett is a little better, but I kind of just gonna stick with my gut and say that because of how good the Niners were and that D line in general, I'm just gonna say stay.
So next at 55, we have Zach Martin, offensive guard for the Cowboys.
This is a stay for me. Same reason for Tyron Smith.
Yeah, this is a good stay.
I would put him higher. I think Zach Martin's one of the better linemen in the league, offensive linemen in the league. Even, cause, I mean, the Dallas, they have a good O-line. Like, they have one of the best in my opinion. But I just think him himself, I think he just stands out from them.
Yeah, I think he's the best alignment on Dallas.
Yeah, I agree with that too, honestly.
So I'm gonna say he stays.
Okay.
So for 54, we have Stephon Diggs, new receiver for the Buffalo Bills.
I like this player a lot, personally again too, but I think this is also a stay just because if you look at like based off last year, I feel like he got disrespected. Like Adam Thielen is a beast, but Adam Thielen is Adam Thielen because of him, and I feel like in big games when they were like losing, they kind of forgot to like look over his way. Like they wanted to just force everything to Adam Thielen, even when teams were doubling and tripling him and giving Stephon Diggs those one-on-ones. I felt like they kind of like really disrespected him and took him out of like. They pretty much like booed him off the team before the season was even over.
For me,
yeah, I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I kind of want to lower him because they put Devontae Adams under him. Like I like Stephon Diggs, but I don't think he's better than Devontae Adams. So like, I kind of would just switch those because like, I don't really think he's better. Like he's a good wide receiver, but I don't think he's better than Devontae Adams.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I'm gonna say a little lower for the same reason, just because Devontae Adams is so good. But I can understand why Diggs is there. I just think Adams should be a lot higher.
No, see me, I would have left Stephon Diggs where he's at, and I would have switched Devontae Adams with Amari Cooper. I don't know.
That's probably better.
I don't know how a cornerback that swats balls down made it so far. For those of you that don't know that, I give shit to Justice and all of my other friends that are Cowboys fans because Amari Cooper is a 50% catch rate chance. Yeah, we don't know whether he's gonna catch the ball or not.
And Dylan said he had like 100 receptions and only caught like 70. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, he had 100, like 30 some targets and only like 70 some receptions.
Yeah, like that's mind blowing. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not a bad wide receiver. Like he's not a bad player, but
yeah, like not all the like targets that didn't hit him weren't all his fault. But I mean, he nearly led the league in drops last year.
Yeah, that's
Yikes.
crazy.
So next at 53, we have Marcus Peters, cornerback for the Ravens.
Me personally, I want to say lower But understanding why they put him there, as much as like we like make fun of him as a group of our friends do, he does create turnovers. So I can see why the league respects him a lot. And he's got a mouth on him. And when you talk, like I said, that just brings attention on you. And like Dylan said in the very beginning of this is a popularity contest. So if you're getting people to pay attention to you, you're still doing something right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say lower.
Yeah, I'm
Not a
gonna
fan
say
of
lower
Marcus
too.
Peters.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with lower too. I'm just saying, like, I can see why I understand why he's there.
Mm-hmm. So next at 52, we have Chris Jones, defensive tackle for the Chiefs.
Man, get him out of here.
Nah, this should have been
No,
higher. I think this is a higher for me. I
I
like
don't know. It's kind of a stay for me.
I like how big of a game he played in the Super Bowl. Like the whole playoff run, him and Badger really put the defense on their back. So that's why I give him credit to be a little higher. Not too much higher, but just a little higher.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Like, he should go up like a few spots, but I don't think he should like jump up like 10, 20 spots or anything. Just bump him up a little bit, like top 50, and he'll be good. So for 51, we have Todd Gurley, running back for the Falcons, the new running back for the Falcons.
I
I
don't
want
know.
to see how he actually does with the
Yeah,
Falcons.
I'm gonna say stay just to be safe because there's really no other backs on the list that really got disrespected so far besides like maybe Josh Jacobs, but he's a rookie. So exactly where he's at is kind of like they're saying, and he's like average. So yeah, I'm gonna agree with stay. I can't put him much higher.
Yeah, I'd put him at stay. I like him, but he's gonna have to stay.
Yeah, he's gonna be a stay for me too. So for number 50, we have Darius Leonard, a linebacker, D lineman, whatever, both. He's a defensive player for the Colts.
Great tackler. I think he should have been a little higher. I would like to see him swap with JJ Watt. I think JJ Watt deserved to be a little lower again. But that's me.
I think he's about good where he's at.
Okay.
All right, so for number 49, we have Amari Cooper, receiver for the Cowboys.
Okay. Like I said, I think this should have been a little lower to me just because of the targets and the amount of catches he got. But it's kind of like I'm just gonna go lower. Actually, I don't gonna say this dude don't catch the ball. I can't defend him. I'm trying to defend him and I can't. Trying to sound nice to him. I just don't want to be rude, but there's just Devontae Adams got distracted so badly by putting him above him. Like there's no way that this dude is better than Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I think he should be lower too. I mean, I sound like a broken record here, but Devontae Adams is just so underrated.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, like in the division alone, again, going back to like before, this is before Darius Slay. Going back to his division alone, there's really no corners to cover him. They traded Jack Rabbit away, so it's not like he had a chance to play against superstar corners. And when he did play against superstar corners, including this year, Stephon Gilmore clamped him like really bad. Like the dude was blanketed the whole game.
Yeah, I think that I agree with you there. I think Amari Cooper should definitely be like a little like I still think he's really good, but I think he should be like a little bit lower.
No, yeah, I agree. I think he should have been a little. Like I said, I would literally personally leave Stephon Diggs where he was and just swap Devontae Adams in his spot and be okay with it. Because I think 57 is not bad for someone that's still on a very dominant team. Like the Cowboys are of course still dominant on offense. Like he deserves to be up there.
Yeah.
All right, so what about you, Justice? What do you think?
I actually agree with Ricardo. I would actually switch him and Devontae. I was just saying like earlier that like I don't think like Stephon Diggs is better than Devontae Adams. But it's the same thing with Amari Cooper. Like I don't think Amari Cooper's better than Devontae Adams, even though I like both of them. But he would be lower for me.
All right. So, for number 48, we have Zadarius Smith, another D lineman for the Packers?
I'm gonna say stay. For his first year there, he did great, and hopefully he keeps doing better. But I think this is a perfect stay for me. Like off of 1 year, that's a respectable number.
Yeah, I would say stay too.
Yeah, he's gonna be a stay for me. All I know is though, I am glad he's out of the division.
Yeah, he's a monster now.
Mm-hmm. So for number 47, we have Tre'Davious White, cornerback for the Buffalo Bills.
Higher. There's nothing else to say. Literally, I thought arguably the best cornerback in football besides Stephon Gilmore, and he didn't allow a touchdown in the regular season.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
had
he
to
should
have
be
been
way
higher
higher.
for me.
I mean, you could say that Tre'Davious White is the top corner in the league, and I'd
Hmm.
like agree with you. You could say either one of those dudes are top corner, and I'd say okay.
Top 5. Automatic top 5.
Oh, easy.
Very easy.
So for 46, we have Dak Prescott, quarterback for the Cowboys.
I think this is a stay for me. Just as going, I had to give him the same reason that I gave Juice and OBJ the positions. The way the team did last year, this is a respectable number. Previous years, he's played like a top 5 quarterbacks, but last year they kind of struggled. And again, they might struggle again depending on how good they improve in the offseason. But I think this is a perfect number for him to stay.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a stay for me too.
For I would move him. I would change him and Jimmy G. I just think he's a better quarterback than Jimmy G right now. Don't get me wrong, like Jimmy G's good, but I mean, he kind of has more target, like better players than Dak does right now, like wide receiver, in my
I don't know
opinion.
about that, but
In my opinion, I think the 49ers have better wide receivers right now. Like knowledge wise and like the way they run the routes and how clean they run them. I just think they're better than the Cowboys right now.
Mm, I don't know. Like what I always say about Jimmy G being where he's at. I don't like him at all. But if you look at the problem with the Cowboys, I do agree with you. I think the weapons around Dak are what holds Dak back. But for the Niners and their scheme, I think the weapons around Jimmy Garoppolo is what gave Jimmy Garoppolo his spot. Like he didn't have to pass the ball that much, so of course his passing rating is going to be great because he played games where he only passed 8 passes sometimes, and they won.
yeah, that's just
Yeah,
unheard of.
that would.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that Jimmy G has like the better target in George Kittle, but I don't know if he has better targets like in general than Dak. But I'll agree with you. I think Dak is better than Jimmy G.
Okay. All right. So what we're doing, guys, because we're running short on time, and we just realized that is we're gonna cut this episode up into 2 halves. So we'll upload this first half Monday, or at this episode Monday, and we'll give you guys another midweek episode Tuesday, and you guys will still have the one on Friday. But other than that, you guys will see the second episode the day after that. So for this episode, it has been your boys. Make sure you guys check out all of our links in the description below. I'm gonna let them give themselves really quick goodbyes, and then we'll see the episode tomorrow for you guys for the rest of the list.
Bye bye.
Do you?